Hello. Hello, everyone. Come on into the webinar. My name is Linda Peavy, and I'm going to be your host for this evening, where we're going to talk about how you get grant money for your Black-owned business and your Black-led nonprofit. Yes, even through the DEI cuts, even through the federal funding that's been cut, yes, you can still get grants. So welcome. My name is Linda Peavy. I'm in not too far from the land, not too far from Cleveland, and where we are mourning those Cavaliers, but I won't even talk about it. All right, so as you come in, let me know where you are coming in from. Give that city and that state a shout out. And let me know where you are coming in from. Let me know where you are coming in from. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. I see you coming in. Hello, Kenneth from Virginia. Fernando from the Big D, Detroit, the Motor City. Hello, Yvonne from the ATL. Welcome back, Yvonne. And Donna, look at the ATL showing up. Look at Donna and Erica, all from the ATL. Yes, Valda from West Palm Beach, Florida. And Melanie is from the ATL. Atlanta is just showing up tonight. Yes. Who else is here with me? Let me know. Let me know. But Regina's representing Ohio, Ohio, Dayton. Yes, yes, yes. And Letitia in Seattle. I was in your beautiful city a couple of months ago in Seattle, and guess what? It didn't rain. It didn't rain. And Caricia, is that right? Is it Caricia or Carisha? From Fort Worth, Texas. Texas is in the house. So let me know who else is here with me today. My name is Linda Peavy, and we're going to talk about how you can still get grant money. Yes, for your Black-owned business or your Black-led nonprofit. I'm cutting through all of this crazy chaos and letting you know that, yes, it is very possible. And that, yes, organizations are getting grants every single day, Black organizations, every single day. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to share my screen. There we go. I believe that is correct. It is. All right, we are ready to go. We are ready to go. So this is my live 7 o'clock session. I was live at noon where we had such a good time, so many great questions at noon. And I know I will get some great questions tonight and that we'll have a good time. Now, let me just give you some information about my background so that you know who I am. Again, my name is Linda Peavy. Yes, they call me the Grants Queen because I have secured almost $18 million now in grants and business development and funding. And this is year 17 of me owning LaPav Consulting. Now, I give grant writing workshops all over the country. I am a grant instructor and a grant expert. I teach grant writing for many different private organizations and some of your major organizations as well, from the Urban League to Goldman Sachs. And I am a proud alumnus of the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program. I'm also a member of Forbes Black, which is an organization of Black leaders affiliated with Forbes magazine, and my undergrad and graduate degrees are from the University of Akron. Go Zips, go Zips. Now, I have a business, but I used to lead a nonprofit, so I have been on both sides of that coin. So let me know who is here with me today into the chat. Are you a small business, meaning you could be a sole proprietor or an LLC, right, or a partnership? Or are you a nonprofit? Or maybe you're both, because I'm finding a lot of for-profits are starting nonprofit arms. So let me know in the chat who is here with me. Both. Excellent, excellent. That means you really place your organization in the best possible position to get grants, whether they are for nonprofits or for-profits. Small business, LLC. Just about to start an LLC. Excellent, LLC. Excellent, excellent. So I ask you that question so that you know right from the beginning that yes, there are grants for both entities. There are still grants for small businesses and there are grants for nonprofits. Yes, even for you as a Black business, all right, or a Black-led nonprofit. So I'm going to show you how. Now, let's just talk about how I got here first, because I used to be a publishing executive in Pennsylvania, and then I got hurt. When I got hurt, I had to move back home to Cleveland. Literally went from like flying all over the world and in this great job to putting everything I owned in a storage unit and moving in with my sister. I was there for 4 years, and for the first 2 years I couldn't work. I was healing. And when I was finally able to work, I couldn't get hired. My experience was in publishing. Cleveland, Ohio is not the publishing mecca of the United States, I tell you. But I like to eat. I need a roof over my head. So I decided to start my own. That's when I started LaPav Consulting. And when I say I started from zero, I started from zero. So I know how many of you feel when you start with nothing, right? 17 years later, I have not looked back. However, once I started, one of my first contracted positions was to be the executive director of a nonprofit. Now, I'm going to keep it real tonight, just so you know, I'm going to keep it real. All right, because we're all family here tonight, right? Right. I started this job. I don't think I was there for 2 weeks before I was called into the board of directors office and told that I had to write a grant that would pay for my salary. That would pay for my salary. That would save my job. Now, people, you know that there are times when people who look like us are called in to do what? Save the day, save the program, sometimes to save the entire organization. So if you know what I mean, give me a yes in the chat. Well, I did it. I researched. I wrote that grant. Oh, I'm seeing some yeses. Oh, you know what I'm talking about, right? Oh, yes. I'm seeing plenty of yeses. But I did it. I researched. I wrote that grant. I won that grant. It paid for my salary, and it taught me many things. One, and this is what I want all of you to understand, you can write grants with no experience, but you do need a framework. And I would suggest that you do have a community to help you move your way through. But also, it taught me what you can do with grant money. I hear from you. This is year 17 for me being in this industry. I know you are tired of using all of your own money to fund your nonprofit and to fund your small business, right? Like you're tired of digging in those pockets and there's just nothing left, right? Or you're tired of wearing all 20 hats. You can use grant money to hire staff, to hire help, right? To get started. There are startup grants. So I want you to be encouraged as we move through with what you're going to hear tonight, because a lot of people they're not sharing this information with you. And I want you to be encouraged. All right. Now, what are we going to talk about? Keys to funding. What is currently going on with grants? Oh my goodness. Then how do you prepare to apply? I need for you to be grant ready. And then what do you write in the application? How do you write the application so that, guess what, you are still getting noticed? And I'm going to show you how to conduct the grant research so that you know how to find organizations that want to give you funding. And this is more important than ever before with all of these cuts. And then I have a list of grants so that you know, yes, there are still grants available for you as a Black-owned business or a Black-led nonprofit. The grant money is still available. You just need to know where and how to find it. I'm going to show that to you. And then I have a bonus surprise for you at the end. And guess what? We're going to do a Q&A, a thorough Q&A. So don't be shy, people. This is your opportunity to ask a grants expert questions about grants. Drop your grant questions in either the Q&A or the webinar chat, one or the other, and I will get to them both. Now, let me say this to all of you. I am here to help you. You need help. There have been so many hurdles put in your way between you and grant money. I'm not going to be another one. You're going to get this replay for free. I'm not going to charge you because you need this information. You will get it likely tonight. You'll have it forever. because I don't have some expiration date on this information. You need it, right? Now, why are we here? Why are we here? Because we as Black leaders of organizations, we need access to money. And guess what? It shouldn't always be about loans. Are you tired of hearing about loans? I am. Grant money is what you want, because grant money is not paid back. And let me say this to you, you can do this. You can write these grants. They're not 500-page documents like they used to be. I know all about it because that's what I used to do. A lot of these grant applications now are 2 and 3 pages. 2 and 3 pages. So you can do this. But please know, people, that there's a process. There's a process to winning. And it's about more than what you write in the application. And this is what I'm going to be showing you tonight. There's a process. It is about more than what you write in the application. This is what I've learned after 17 years and having won almost $18 million. And I'm going to share this with you tonight. Now, first of all, let's talk about what is going on with grants. Now, here's the good news. Federal grants, now, yes, they've been slashed to basically nothing. DEI grants slashed. But guess what? Federal grants do not equal all grants, people. This is where you've been misinformed. There are thousands of resources for grants. And I rarely even talk about federal grants because they're difficult to get. You typically need quite a bit of experience to write and win them. I normally discuss and teach private, community, family, and corporate foundation grants, and they are still plentiful. And they give to nonprofits and small businesses, so you're covered. So please understand that grant money is still available from many, many, many different resources, right, that are completely separate from what the federal government is doing, which means there's an opportunity for you right now, because a lot of people are misinformed. They're thinking there are no grants. They're thinking because the federal grants are being cut, that's it, no more grant money. Nothing could be further from the truth. So here you are learning that there is plenty of money left in corporate and family and private and community foundation grants. So this is your opportunity to swoop in and start applying for this grant money, because there's less competition, right? And because the federal funds have been reduced, it is your local and corporate and family foundations that are doing what? They're actually increasing their funding, because they're trying to fill in the gaps that have been left by all of these significant federal cuts. Again, more opportunity for you to look inward. This is why you need to be meeting with your local community foundation and your local corporations to get grant funding, because they are increasing the number of grants and the amount, trying to fill in the gaps, because the need, I can tell you, is greater than ever. Now, here's something else that I want you to do. I want you to diversify your funding. Don't put all those expensive eggs in one basket. You should be seeking grants and sponsorships and individual donations and corporate contracts. And yes, you can be a coach or a consultant and get corporate contracts. You don't have to be some huge conglomerate. And then donor advisory funds, those come through community foundations. So diversify. But again, here's the good news. Those private foundations and those community foundations, they are stepping in to cover the gaps. Plus, your state and local governments, they have grants that have nothing to do with what's going on at the federal level. Literally, I was just meeting with one of my students earlier today, and she got like this over $80,000 grant that was being filtered down through the state, right? I was in a meeting last week and I learned about a state grant for like $30-40 million for the state of Ohio. She got her grant through Michigan. The state and local governments are still providing grant funding because not all of their grant funding comes from the federal government. Oftentimes, they raise their own money. So again, this is good news for you. So please don't think there are no grants available. I believe that there are forces that want you to be discouraged and want you to stop. But that's not what you're going to do. You're going to keep moving and you're going to get this grant money. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. We know that the federal government has tried to shut down all DEI, right? They started with the federal government. So yes, most if not all of the DEI federal government grants gone. But what we do know is that DEI represents far more than what most people think. We know that the greatest beneficiaries, right, have been white women, right? But DEI includes women of any ethnicity, and of course, communities of color, but also veterans and also the disabled. But here's what's happening. You have organizations, and this is very important for you to get, that are still giving in the area of DEI, still now. Organizations like the Ford Foundation and the Kellogg Foundation. Why? Because they've been giving this money for decades and decades and decades. It literally defines who they are. So they are less influenced by what's going on in Washington. So you will still see some grant funding in this area of DEI, absolutely. Even when you visit these websites, it's clear. Also, your newer foundations like Google and Apple and Delta and Costco, oh, they're absolutely still giving in the area of DEI, but they're tweaking the language so that they're not falling out of the good graces of the White House. But this is what they're doing. They're not changing who they fund, because it's a big part of who these companies are. They're changing how they describe who they fund. And this is what I need for you to do. Now, there may be times when you still use the same language, women, blacks, right? But there may be times when you will need to tweak that language a bit, because at the end of the day, your goal is to get the grant money. And this is what I want you to do. I want you to think about when you're describing your organization, that you look for conditions. You describe conditions, not necessarily categories like black or women. You focus on the outcomes and the barriers, right? So you're going to adapt this language, but not who you serve. This is very important. Let me show you how you do this. Let's say your program offers youth development opportunities for Black boys. That's who you serve. You don't change who you serve Black boys. But you may need to tweak that language to say one of the following. Maybe we provide youth development for historically underserved and underrepresented boys, or boys disproportionately impacted by economic and educational inequities, or supporting boys from communities designated as high need or underrepresented in STEM. Black boys, right? We call it quiet DEI. Same goes for if you serve women. Your program may provide employment and career coaching for women. Now you may need to tweak the language a bit. Now you say our program offers workforce development support for those facing systemic barriers to career advancement, or providing career development services tailored to those who experience unique workforce challenges due to caregiving responsibilities, wage gaps, and systemic inequities. Women, right? So this is very important for you to get. So if you understand what I'm saying, give me a yes in the chat, because this is how you're still going to get this money, because these foundations are still giving to you. They're just tweaking how they describe how they're going to get this money to you, so that they can what? Stay in the good graces of what's going on in the White House. Do you understand this? I'm seeing some yeses. Excellent. All right. Now, let's talk about grant basics. What do you all need to know? Grants are not paid back. Now, for the next minute, I'm only talking to the nonprofits. You need to get your 501c3. Don't give these foundations an excuse to reject your application. That is your tax-exempt charitable organization designation by the IRS. Now, It used to take, what, 6 months to get the 501c3? Excuse me. Now it's only taking 6 to 8 weeks. So get your 501c3. This is just for nonprofits. Make sure you're paying attention to the chat because I will be dropping some really important links in the chat as we go through. Those of you who need the 501c3, you have to go through the IRS. We're dropping that link. Now, from this point forward in this presentation, I'm talking to everybody. Nonprofits and small businesses, especially with this next slide. Look at this slide. This is U.S. grant annual funding. This is from foundation, corporations, and to a smaller extent, bequest giving. These are the latest numbers, 2023, $189 billion, billion with a B. And these numbers are expected to increase. Do you see federal giving anywhere, like federal funds anywhere on the slide? No. This money is still available. It's being given out every single day. How is it that you are going to place your organization in a position to get it, to get your share? Because I want you to think about this number. This is a large number, but don't be intimidated because you just need what you need, right? And when you see this number, I want you to think about the fact that you really just need a little bit. You just need a little bit of $189 billion. So that's right. Everybody right now, put into the chat, I just need a little bit. Like, don't let this number be intimidating to the point where you think, I'm just going to give up. There's no way I can get any of this. Because guess what? Black organizations are getting part of this money every single day. Every single day. That's right, Dorothy. Do you need it all? Canada, do you need all $189 billion, or will you just accept a little bit, right? How about a slice? This is a huge pie. Bridget says, I just need some of it, right? Geraldine, are you trying to be greedy? Do you need all $189 billion? Look, Edward, I'll take the crumb. You take a slice, I'll take the crumbs. I'll take the crumbs that fall from $189 billion because this is a lot of money. And I need for you to understand that organizations are getting it every day, including ones that look like you. They just know what to do. They just know what to do. And I'm getting ready to show you what you need to do. This is why being in a community is so important, so that you get the right information, because there is a lot of misinformation out there. All right. Now, what do I need for you to do first? I need for you to be grant ready. Now, that means I need for you to hone up on those writing skills. It does not mean you need to be a professional writer at all, but you need help, right? Now, if you use Grammarly, give yourself some love in the chat. I use Grammarly every day. I am a professional editor, grant writer, and writer. Now, what is it? It is a free software editing tool. Sydney uses it. Kashana uses it. Kashana, go from sometimes to all the time. Go from sometimes to all the time. I don't write without it. And I'm a professional writer. I don't write without it. Dorothy uses it. Why am I even talking about it? Because I do not want you submitting grant applications full of grammatical errors. And it is very easy to do. It will literally self-correct. You download it onto your computer, into your Word document, self-corrects, right? You do not want the foundation not being able to understand what you're writing. And it's very easy to do. All right, so download Grammarly. It's free. And download this article, Improve Writing Skills Dramatically by Doing These 15 Things. Now, how else are you going to become grant ready? You're going to get your documents in order. Your employer identification number. Nonprofits, you need the 501c3. All of you, are you a legitimate organization? Do you have your articles of incorporation? Now, in some states, you need a state certification too. Now, check with your Secretary of State. All right. Florida, Ohio, Georgia, you all need a business license. Wyoming, you don't. Check. Now, nonprofits, you know, it is a requirement that you have a board of directors. Get your list together. For-profits, if you have a board, great. Get your list together. All of you should be compiling letters of support. It will strengthen your grant application. Where are they coming from? Drop names. Do you know the mayor? Do you know politicians who can give you a letter? Right? It could be your vendor. It could be community leaders. It could be your pastor, the church. Get those letters together. Now, if you are currently operating, you know you need your financial statement. And that includes your balance sheet and your profit and loss statement. But all of you need an operating budget, and do not be scared of this, because all it is a budget where you are going to estimate what you think your expenses are going to be for the upcoming year. And this is important because you have to garner some idea of how much money you're going to need to operate, right? So you put that in your operating budget. All right? All right. Now, I'm going to go through the components of a typical grant application and show you how to write so that you are showcasing your organization, so that you're telling your story, because that's really what a grant application is. It's an opportunity for you to tell your story. All right, I'm going to give you best practices. Now, the first section is the mission. The mission is everything. So if you don't have a mission statement, you're not going to be getting any grant money, like, period. Because your mission defines who you are and what you do, and you're going to align your mission to the mission of that foundation. So if you're laser focused on K through 12 education, find a foundation that also has a passion for education. And you don't change your mission based on the grant application. No, your mission stays static because it defines who you are and what you do. It doesn't change. So if you don't have a mission, homework 101. Now, this section is how you are going to set your application apart from everybody else's. It is how you describe your organization. I want you all to focus on one word: impact, using real numbers. No longer is it okay to just have these feel-good initiatives like, oh, I want to save the world, I want to help the homeless, I want to help veterans. That's not good enough. How have you helped them? Show numbers. You have a homeless ministry. How many homeless people have you placed into shelters? You want to open up a restaurant, you've opened it up. How many people do you serve? Do you have any community initiatives? If so, what is the impact? What is the impact, right? Use real numbers. Let's say you have it opened. Let's say you have a tutoring program. You want to tutor high school kids in math. You can literally say in the grant application, I expect my impact will be that when the students complete my tutoring program, they will have increased their math scores by 5%. Show the results. Show how you are making a difference using numbers, because that is what foundations are looking for on the grant applications. All right. And when you write this application, you must write as if you are solving a problem. Yes, even you for-profits, even you small businesses, this is where some of you really struggle. Let me give you an example of how to do this. Let's say you are a for-profit, you are a bakery. You want to locate downtown, you need a $20,000 grant. Now you might be thinking, what is the problem? She's making red velvet cake all day. Well, maybe she decided to open up a vegan bakery because vegans don't have a lot of great places to buy baked goods. She's solving that problem. Or maybe it's economic development, right? Because where she wants to locate is an area of blight, right? And she wants to help connect that area. She wants to help with the economics of that area. So that's where she is really focused. Whatever the issue is, it's going to help connect you to the foundation that wants to give you funding, because that foundation is giving money in the same area. That's why you have to know how and where foundations give. How do you do that? You go to their websites. But keep in mind, 90% of foundations don't have a website. So that's where you've got to get really creative and how you find information out about the foundation. All right. But write as if you are addressing an issue. Doesn't matter your industry, right? And if you're still struggling with this, put your questions in the Q&A. Target population. I've been a coach for 16 years now. When I ask my clients, who are you helping? Too often I get, Linda, I help everybody. If they come my way, I have a heart for helping. I have to help. This is how you get burnt out, people. The more you pile on, the more programs you try to implement, the more you dilute your results. The more you dilute your results, you only have so much energy, right? You should have one, maybe two target populations at best. You can't help everybody. And niche down, because if you tell me you help the homeless, I'm only going to ask you the homeless who? Homeless veterans, homeless moms, homeless children. The more you are able to niche down, the easier it will be for you to find grant money. All right? All right. And at the end of the day, get excited about writing these grants. This is your chance to tell your story. How have you changed lives? What type of outcomes have you been able to achieve? And you use real examples, right? If you're currently open, have your customers pick up their cell phone and give you a 30-second testimonial and put it on the homepage of your website, right? There's no better way of showing impact than using video. Now, all of you have a decision to make when you are seeking grant money. Are you asking for operating grant money or program project grant money? It has to be one or the other. One or the other per foundation. You can't do both. Now, you know, we love to get operating grants, right? Because when you get that operating grant, you get to decide where to put that money. It could pay for your salaries, for your IT, for your marketing, for that website. About 32% of foundations give this type of support. Most grant money has to go to a particular, maybe service or project, which is fine. Let's say you have that restaurant and you want to start a delivery service. That could be a project. But whatever you do, you always, always, at any given time, should be applying to multiple foundations. I want to know in the chat, why do you think that is? Tell me why you think it is important that you should be applying to multiple foundations. Keep in mind, people, this is not a sprint. This is a marathon. This is not a one and done industry. Let me know in the chat, why do you think you have to apply to multiple foundations? Always. At the same time, let me know in the chat, why do you think this is true? Why? Why? Why do you think that is? Consistent funding, Lasagna, absolutely. Consistent funding. Why else? Why else? The opportunity to get funding. It's a numbers game, Melanie, yes. You can't put all those expensive eggs in one basket, Nicole, absolutely. Gail, you keep your options open, but you also want to know why? Possible rejection. Grants are not guaranteed. That's why. Don't let anybody tell you they can guarantee you grant money. There's probably scammers. I see this all the time. Oh my gosh, the horror stories. The horror stories break my heart. They really do. I see this on social media all the time. Oh, apply here. Everybody wins. Guaranteed grant money. Nobody denied. No. No, just no. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. All right? Scammers. Now, I cannot possibly explain how important it is for you to have community partners. This is one of the best ways that will increase your chances significantly of getting grant money. Now, we're still in tax season, right? Let's say you have an accounting firm. You can go to your local library, and I think libraries are criminally underutilized, and give a free tax talk 1 hour a month. They're going to promote you. That's what they do. Why is this important? Because it increases your level of visibility, and foundations are always looking to see who's doing what in their community, right? This becomes important, and connect with a well-respected organization like libraries or the Urban League or HBCUs or 100 Black Men of America. And let me just give you an example to make this crystal clear. Let's say a young lady has a re-entry program, right? She wants to help those who are in the criminal justice system to be released into society and become productive members of the community. Now, you know she has to interview them while they're still in jail, right? To make sure they qualify for her reentry program. Who should she be meeting with? Let me know in the chat. Who should she be meeting with? Who should her community partners be? Let me know in the chat. She has a reentry program. She's trying to make sure that when people release into the community, that's right, Kashana, probation, absolutely. The parole board, right. Michelle, employers, right? You want them to be gainfully employed. There are workers or there are employers that have ex-offender programs. Counselors, Gail, right? They may need help. They may have addiction. Attorneys, maybe, right? They may need to talk to attorneys in the future. The sheriff's office, absolutely, because they need access to the jail system, right? What about housing? You don't want them to be homeless, right? What about transitional housing places? Supported families, right? The court system, absolutely, right? Do you want them to starve? Do they need food? Where are they going to go for food, right? What about food pantries, missions? You see how we literally came up with probably 8 or 10, just like this, just like this. This is what you are going to do. This is your homework, people. This is your homework. I want you to come up with a list of 5 organizations that you're going to meet with based on your organization. And you don't have to complete the partnerships by the time you submit the application. No, just list the names, right? And let the foundation know that you will be meeting with these organizations, right? This becomes very important because you never know who knows who. You never know who at these very embedded organizations in the community, whether or not they know someone that sits on the board of the foundation. So this becomes critical. That's your homework. All right. Now we're on to the money. How are you going to show ways in which you will be expending the grant funding? You need to itemize your expenses. Let's say you want a $50,000 grant for an executive director. You can't just put down I need 50 grand for an ED. Is it a contracted person? How many hours a week? How many weeks out of the year? What is the pay rate? You need supplies? How many supplies do you need? Who's using the supplies? How much money are you going to be paying for them? Itemize those expenses in your budget and then describe how you're using the grant money. The description goes into the budget narrative. And here's a clue. I always include a budget narrative, even if they don't ask one, even if the application does not require one, I still create one. Because at the end of the day, I want that foundation to know that I understand that I need to connect the money back to the goal of the program and the mission of the program. So I always write about how the money is going to be utilized. Now, I just feel that some of you are like, Linda, this doesn't sound too bad. This sounds pretty good. But I just don't have time. Like, I don't have time to write these grants. Remember what I said to you at the beginning, that some of these grants are 2 and 3 pages. And now with AI, that just can't be an excuse any longer. AI will have you writing grants so fast, like your head will spin. But for those of you that are still thinking, I don't think I have time. I have a question for all of you. And I would like an answer in the chat. Do you have time to get this free money? Do you have time to get free money? Does anybody have time to get free money? Let me see in the chat if anybody has time to get free money. I'm saying yes. I'm saying I do. I'm saying yes, yes. I'm saying I have all the time in the world. I'm saying absolutely. I'm saying I have time, yes. I'm saying yes, yeah. I'm saying I do. So it sounds like you've got time to get free money. So if you've got time to get free money, I need you to spend just a little bit of time on the process to get the free money. You're going to create some relationships that will change your organization, that will change your organization. All right. So this is what you do. This is the slide here, people. If you don't take anything else away from this webinar, this is it. This is the slide. Do your screenshot, do whatever you need to do. You're going to get the replay, but this is the slide because this is as or more important than anything you will ever write in the grant application, you need to meet with the foundation first. You need to build this relationship. And this is so simple to do, right? Yes, you're going to be meeting with them. I probably set up 1,000 of these meetings in the last 16 years. One stands out always. 30-minute Zoom meeting. My client got $30,000. Just 30-minute Zoom meeting. Yes, these are Zoom meetings. If you live close to the foundation, meet with them. Excuse me, meet with them in person. If you live close to them, if not, this is a Zoom meeting. They want to meet with you. They want to hear about your program, and there's nothing to be afraid of. You want to meet with them because in that meeting, they often share information about that grant that is not on their website. So yes, meet with the foundation first. This becomes very important. And how do you do it? You send an email. Send an email, introduce yourself, connect and align your program with where they fund. Whatever you do, don't ever ask for money in the email. That is one of the quickest ways to get a rejection letter. You're asking for a meeting. In the meeting, you're asking for the money. Now, we're on to the grant research. This is how you find the money. Now, people, Google is fine, but I want you to use a portal that is literally dedicated to grants. The Foundation Directory Online, also called Candid. They changed their name, but when you go online, it's still Foundation Center. They give you information about the organizations that provide the grants. So if you're in Detroit and you have maybe a program where you help veterans into transitional housing, plug in the information. They will give you a list of organizations that will fund that type of a program. $50 a month to subscribe or free at your local library. All right. Grants.gov, we know those grants have been frozen. The Lilly Foundation, do you know that if you are a church or a faith-based organization that you can still get grants? Grant Watch, I love, $20 a week or $200 for the whole year. Now, they give you the actual synopsis of the grant. They give you the grant openings and the sponsors of the grants and the contact information for the sponsors and the due dates. $20 a week, $200 for the year. Grant Station, I love, because I think they do one of the best jobs of really allowing you to hone in on what you are providing as your organization. And they're also $200 for the entire year. UrbanAwarenessUSA.org, they are Black owned, so support them. They provide information on maybe 3 to 4 grants every single week. While I take a sip here. Free. Sign up for their free newsletter. Tell them Linda sent you. All right. Let me show you. Excuse me. This is Grant Station. The areas of interest. Look to my right. For every block you see, there's probably 10 to 20 drop-down blocks. You really get to hone in on your area. And then choose your target population. Choose the type of support. Is it small business, nonprofit? And then you push a button and you get a list of organizations that provide grants and what grants they provide. Now, let me talk about location, because I do believe that so many of you leave grant money on the table. You need to look local first. It's easier to get local grant money. It's easier. That's why you need to start looking inward. Your local community foundation, your local organizations. But also don't disregard the national grant makers. You could literally be stationed in Georgia and there's an organization in Texas that gives money nationwide, including where you're located. And for my global community, this is absolutely for you as well. You don't have to live here in the US. You could live in Kenya and build churches in Kenya and get grant money. You could live here in the US and serve a population in Ghana and get grant money, right? These searches are not just for U.S. organizations. If you look in the middle, you'll see international charitable. Click that. It'll give you so many different grants, right? Now, these are some hot grant areas: telehealth, healthcare. We know STEM and AI. There was a grant a couple of weeks ago, like a $1 to $3 million grant in AI. And this is the hottest: workforce development and job training. So if your program or your organization, doesn't matter if you're opening up the restaurant, you need help, right? Or if you have some type of a youth development program where you provide skills, or you're creating training for ex-offenders, if you are in any way producing jobs or training, this is the hottest field. And then community and economic revitalization, always. Now, I won't go through all of these, but I list these grants so that you understand that there are grants still specifically for your kind of organization and for you as a Black organization. Progressive, they are just like off the charts, right? Like literally 2 years ago, I had never seen this ever. 2 years ago, they had a $25,000 grant. You had to be a Black organization. You had to use the $25,000 to buy a car that would be used in the service of your organization. The grant this year, right? They took out Black organization and then they doubled the money. So they're still giving this grant. Now it's a $50,000 grant. And yes, you have to use the car. You have to buy a car with it, some type of a vehicle. You have to use the vehicle in the course of your work, right? But this is one of those organizations that tweak the language a bit, right? Wink, wink, right? Now, Annuity Freedom, they have financial literacy grants for Black organizations. Operation Hope, John Hope Bryant, his goal is to create 1 million Black businesses. He's on 400,000. So please sign up for his organization. It's free. They give you so much help. Do you have a physical location, like a brick and mortar? There's 2 grants, Wish and Main Street. I won't go through all of these. Shea Moisture, are you opening up a Black hair care salon? There's a grant. LISC, they're giving away over $1 billion. They are laser focused on communities of color, right? Let's go down to Amarillo, where it says small, because you might be thinking, Linda, I can't get any grants. I'm super small. It's just me. I'm a solopreneur. Solopreneurs get grants too. Or you might be thinking, I don't have some huge organizational chart. It's just me. I don't pay staff. I don't even pay myself. All volunteer nonprofits get grants too. And then for you startups, Busy and Sky's the Limit, they both have grants for startups. Now, I know there's a lot of women on the webinar. This is for you. I just want to point out Amber Grants for Women, because they give away $30,000 every single month. Remember, I said to you, right, that some of these organizations are not changing their language. It's like, this is who we give to. We're not changing anything, right? So just be prepared. Sometimes you have to tweak the language. Sometimes you don't. Cartier, the jewelry company, they have a phenomenal program for women. All right. Now we're on to banks. I want you to put into the chat, what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about banks and money? Into the chat. Banks and loans. Yes, loans. Somebody said they looked at their watch. They have time. Credit, investing, all true. Credit score, all true. Depends. The credit score depends on whether what kind of funding it is. Do you know that banks are some of the largest providers of grant money in the United States? I'm in Ohio. The Key Bank Foundation is one of the largest. I'm trying to get you to see that grant money comes from thousands of resources other than the federal government. So people, please be encouraged. You need to be applying for these grants, right? I'm giving you 4 hot leads: Bank of America, Wells Fargo, TD Banks, and Truist, right? I know that Truist and Bank of America both provide grants, and TD Banks. I just realized TD Banks is starting this funding too. They all provide to for-profits and nonprofits. Wells Fargo, I think they're only providing to nonprofits, but for hot leads, and no, it does not have to be your bank. It can be a bank with maybe a great presence in your community, maybe their regional office or headquarters office. And no, it's not the branch manager. It's usually a vice president, like a VP of economic development or community reinvestment. All right. Now let's talk about AI and Chat GPT. Phenomenal. It's not coming, people, it's here. Be careful. There is no magic button that you are going to press and poof, you get a magical, perfect grant application. That's not how it works. There is no getting around you needing to understand how to write a grant application in your words. This is where people get into trouble. They use AI for everything, and now there's software that can detect whether or not you've used all AI. Use your own words to describe your mission, to describe your needs statement, to describe your impact, to describe your target population. And then you put that information into ChatGPT because you have to feed it prompts, right? And then let it retool, let it re-edit, right? Let it rewrite. But there's no getting around understanding how to write this grant. And then you let AI take over. And speaking of you being able to write this grant, this is where my bonus surprise comes in. I have created a grant writing course that will help you do exactly that. It is soup to nuts, but it includes my coaching, which is going to be your little secret weapon, right? My coaching, because I'm going to get you over the hump. This is how I won $17 million. I'm teaching you how to write that grant, how to write that basic information that if you're using ChatGPT, you're going to start plugging what you created from this course into ChatGPT if you want to. But you've got to understand how to write the basics. So this course will teach you how to write every single part of the grant application. And I'm going to teach you, most importantly, how to find the funders. Because right now, ChatGPT is not great at that. It's not great at the research that helps you to find organizations. There is no comparison to you using like a Grant Station or a Grant Watch or an FDO. But here's where the coaching comes in. Let's say you are ready to meet with the foundation. Do you know what to say? Do you know how to say it? Do you know what to bring with you? Do you know what you show? This is where my coaching comes in. You come into our private Facebook group and you let us know you're getting ready to meet. I will coach you through it. I will let you know what you need to do. Now, the course will teach you how to write your budget. Do you know how much money to ask for? Do you know whether or not you should be asking for operating money or program project money? That's where my coaching comes in. Come into the Facebook group, ask the question. I'm in there all the time, right? And there are so many other people in there as well. Like you're going to get help from real people, not bots, so that we can move you through. You get 12 modules, 35 lessons. Now, this is not some YouTube video course. This is a course of lessons. And when I ask you the question, I need you to answer. Because the questions that I have in this course were taken from real grant applications because I was hired to create grant applications, including writing the grant questions. So this is like you are completing a grant application, but now you have help because you have me, you have an entire Facebook group. So that when you're done here, you have a phenomenal grant template. You're going to use it to apply for grants over and over and over again because now you've done the work. And this is why it makes it easier and faster. You do the work in here, you're going to apply for multiple grants because you've got a phenomenal template. And yes, you do get real grant examples. And excuse me, I do something nobody else is doing. You get a list of over 600 funders. When I said that we're here to help you, I'm trying to make it easy. You get a list of over 600 funders in multiple categories. And I talked about the private Facebook group. It is everything because it is about collaboration. I need you to be in a community so that you're not confused any longer. Where do I go? What do I say? What do I do? Some of you have lost lots and lots of time, and people, time is money. Time is money. Remember, I talked about there's opportunities right now for you to jump in. So the private Facebook group is everything. And there are recent grants that are consistently placed in the Facebook group. And guess what? The students, they drop more grants than even I do. It's remarkable. They really do. Because the students want all the other students to win, right? Because I need for you to be in a position where you're getting this grant money, because there are so many hurdles being placed in front of us. And again, I do not want to be another one. I give you an hour of group coaching. That's not one and done. That's every single month. So you come with questions. It's live, right? I do grant searches for you if you want me to. It's to help you wherever you are. Now, these numbers that you see are very important for you to know, but they're not what you're going to pay. This is the value of what you're getting. I've had my course audited 3 times now, 3 times. It's literally like on a university level, but it's so much easier because you have so much help and you can get through it. 12 modules, 35 lessons, valued at $3,549, because you are working your way towards this grant template. The videos are worth $599. The funding list is worth $500. Yes, you get a workbook and you get planners and you get grant trackers that are worth $350. This is the slide you want to see. Whatever you do, do not confuse what you're going to pay with the value of the course. It is my decision to create a price that is super low, so that it's not a barrier, so that more organizations are able to come in and get my coaching and get my help. And what you see is correct. It's $297. Now I keep the course at $997, but I know what's been happening since January. People are struggling. I reduced it to $497, but you hopped on the webinar, so that for the next 3 days and 3 days only, you get to take $200 off. I don't want this to be a barrier for you getting the help that you need. And we need help. You need help. You need help. $297. There's a little code that you have to use that's really important. MAY15. Use your code that will take off your $200. You're paying $297 for everything. The course, the Facebook group, the coaching. If you want a 2-month payment plan, we can give that to you. It's $175 a month. And just put a little T on the end of your code. You have to use these codes. MAY15, little T. And then you read right at the end, the course never expires. That's correct. Now, you know, most of these courses that you see, what you get 3 months, 6 months, something like that. This is one payment, one and done. This is how I help the community. Now, I have other resources. I have other services that are significantly higher. But I know that this course can help you get grant money. It happens again and again and again from organizations that have never written one single grant. They're getting grant money. You get the course, the Facebook group, the coaching, write everything off. It's totally tax deductible. Write off your $297. And yes, you get a certificate of completion. It's online, it's digital. Come into the Facebook for help. Come onto the group coaching call for help. Embedded in every single lesson is a little discussion starter. If you have questions, you put it into the discussion starter. It comes to me. I have friends, I have colleagues who charge $2,000 for their grant course. It's not even as complete as this one, and you get zero access to them. Again, I am convinced that part of my mission is to be here and help as many of these organizations to get this funding. Like, I consider it to be a privilege to use what I've learned over the past 70 years to help you. And this course is doing it, right? So if you want the course, you've got 3 days to get this price. But if you want it, click the link in the chat. Let me show you what you do. If you want to pay one payment, $297, click $497. When you click the link, you'll see this page. Click $497. You will see this page here. Everybody look to the left. You have a coupon, and put your coupon MAY15. Now you see this little block here. This is special. This is if you want to meet with me privately. for a 1-hour deep dive into your organization. You will leave with complete clarity, especially entrepreneurs that have like 10 different things going on up here. You'll leave with complete clarity because I'm going to analyze your mission and your vision and your infrastructure and your target population and your program. And you will actually leave with a little mini list of local and national grants. It's $495 for the session. It's a strategy session, but you leave with tangible information and you get the session notes and you even get the video. The only time you will ever see it reduced to $195, you must buy it with the course. Everybody else pays $495. You get to buy it with the course. It's $195. And for those of you who need extra help, we have Affirm, Afterpay, and Klarna. Is 4 months same as cash. If you buy the course for $297, people, you're paying $75 a month. You'll probably get a grant before your 4 months is even completed. And I don't know of any $75 grants. I don't. So the first grant you get will have paid for this course. Now, this is just an option if you want to make 4 payments, same as cash. You input the same code, you'll get the $297. If you want to meet with me privately, you'll click the box, it'll add $195. When you go to pay, click pay another way until you see Affirm or Klarna or Afterpay. If you don't want that option, you can pay with a credit card, banks withdrawal, right? Cash Out Pay, we take Google Pay, PayPal. If you're interested in the little 2-month payment plan that we offer, $175 a month for 2 months, click the 2 times $275. That is actually our 2-month payment plan. But make sure you input the coupon, MAY15 with the little T. You're paying $175 a month for 2 months. All right. All right. Now, I want everybody to know if you are ready for something more intensive, I provide boot camps. I teach you 2 months worth of work in 2 days. You will leave with a complete grant application that is ready to be submitted. You will have a grant template. You will have a significant list of local and national grants. You will have your list of partners. You will have an implementation plan, and you will know how to use AI to write grants. I held one February 27th and 28th. Keisha attended. She had never written a grant before. 6 weeks later, she had her first grant. 2 weeks after that, which was about 2 weeks ago, she won a $100,000 grant. Had never written a grant before. The boot camp was $1,997 or 2 payments of $1,249. 2 months worth of work in 2 days, and you leave after the second day with a completed grant application. You're ready to go. All right. Now, these people, they just paid for the course. They paid less than $300. Whitney, and this is amazing, won $200,000. Look at this ROI. Less than $300. She won $200,000. She did what I'm asking you to do. She started local, Southern Power Fund, utility company, and she went national. National Birth Equity Collaborative gave her $50,000. For the entire year, she won $200,000. She's saying, I can now be a salaried employee of my business. Isn't that what you would love? Kanisha won $100,000 not even 3 months ago. 2 weeks ago, Kimberly won $84,000. 2 weeks ago. And it's amazing because she hadn't written a grant. She had not written a grant. Cherie won $11,000 2 weeks ago, and that was her second grant from the same organization. Here's a clue. If you get a grant, go back in year 2 and always ask for more money. Always. A massage company won $20,000. They said, we are so very thankful and grateful for your course. It's been life-changing for their business, and it has. What could you do with a $20,000 grant? At least you got $40,000. Christina has an online educational consulting firm. Yes, you can be online. You don't need a brick and mortar. She won $10,000. Guess who won the LegalZoom grant? Emily. $10,000. These are all students that paid less than $300 for the course. 10,000 here, 10,000 there. Quanisha won $750 from Walmart. You want to know why that's important? First of all, even that smaller amount paid for the course. But now she's a partner with Walmart. Now she can go back in year 2 and ask for a lot more. Because she's proven she can do with the $750 exactly what she told them that she was going to do. And now she has Walmart as a partner. Now I have 2 bonuses for you because I don't want you to think that you don't have time. I'm going to give you my AI grant guide. It's 10 steps to an easier and faster grant writing. It's worth $100. I'm going to give it to you if you buy the course by Sunday. It even includes the bonus prompts. You know AI is all about the prompts. I even give you the prompts. I'm making this easy for you so that you understand you can do this. And then here's bonus 2. If you buy the course today, the U.S. Black Chamber of Commerce, they put out a Buy Black grant list. It's a list of grants for Black organizations, Black small businesses, and Black-led nonprofits. It's $200. I will give you the latest edition, which is from May. It just came out. You'll get this. This is so that you understand that Black organizations have access to information about Black grants, right? This is how these Black organizations are getting this grant money. You need to be in a community so that you get this information, right? You'll get this free if you buy the course today. All right. Now I'm going to the Q&A. That's it. I'm done. Now, make sure somebody asks me the difference between a grant and a sponsorship. You will want to know the difference. That's very important. All right. Now, Q&A. Q&A. Let's see. Excellent question. Will this information help me to learn to write grants for others as a source of income? Absolutely. Do you know that I have professional grant writers that take the course so that they are assured that they know how to write correctly? I have people who started off taking the course to write grants for themselves. They became so good at it that they became professional grant writers. Now they write grants for other organizations. So as you are taking the course, when you answer the questions, it is for other organizations. You're answering the question as if you are answering it for whatever organization you are working for, so that you understand how you should be interacting with your potential clients. So absolutely, this is how people use the course every day. They become professional grant writers. All right. My grant application has been accepted. What's next? When you say accepted, what do you mean? Do you mean you won the grant, or do you mean that it was accepted in the grant application portal? Let me know what you mean. All right, let me know what you mean. Will you get a list of funders? You get a list of 600 funders in the course. In addition to the list of 600 funders, right, you get the Buy Black list. That is also a list of funders. When you come into the Facebook group, we are consistently posting grants. So yes, you're going to get a list of automatically like well over 600 funders. All right. So let me know, Keith, what you mean. Do you mean that the application has been accepted? So you applied and they received it? Or did you win? Did you win the grant? What if we are not a 501c3? Depends on what type of organization you are. If you are a for-profit, you're not going to be a 501c3, right? 501c3s are only for nonprofits. But I've taught you that grants are for for-profits and nonprofits. If you are a for-profit, you don't need a 501c3 to get grant money. But you likely do if you are a nonprofit, right? 501c3s are just geared for nonprofits, all right? All right, so I'm going to show you this live. Someone is having issues getting the course. Let me show this to you live. Let me do this really quickly. I'm going to share my screen. There we go. Okay. So everybody look. I'm going to go slowly. Let's say you want to pay the $297, right? Hit $497. Hit purchase now. It says $497, right? You have a coupon, and put that coupon code MAY15. Click apply. You see how it took off $200? You're left with $297. Now, let's say you want to buy the one-on-one coaching with me. That's private coaching. It's $195. You click $195, you're at $492. But you don't have to buy the private coaching if you don't want to. Let's remove it. You're back to $297. Input your email so that you create your little account. It takes seconds. Now, you are going to go to the payment method. You're going to click whichever one you want to use. Someone was asking about the 4 months same as cash. Click either affirm, or you may have to go to the little K. You can click afterpay, right? You can click Klarna, right? Click whichever one you want to use, and it will take you to another page where it will ask you questions, right? So that's only if you want to use the 4 months same as cash, right? That's up to you. Now, you don't have to, right? You can use just a credit card to pay the money. And by the way, the tax is based on what state you live in. We have nothing to do with that. It's collected and given over to the state. Some states you'll see an estimated tax, others you won't. If you don't want the 4 months same as cash, use your credit card or a bank withdrawal or PayPal, or we've got Google Pay or Cash App Pay. Now, let's say you want to make the 2 payments, just 2 payments, right? $175 a month, right? Click purchase now. Click, you have a coupon. That's the very next thing you do when you get in. Put in your coupon code, MAY15 with the little T. Hit apply. Do you see how it immediately took off $100? And I'm doing this live. So you're paying $175 a month for 2 months. Now, the 4 months same as cash is only for the 1 month payment, right? The $297. Or if you want to add the coaching, because that is a payment plan, right? Now, the 2 month payment plan, you don't get Klarna or Afterpay because you already have a payment plan for 2 months. All right. So I've stopped sharing. Let me know if you have any other questions. Yes. So Michelle, you can send me an email because you probably don't have the AI guide, right? So if you send us an email, we'll send you the AI guide. If you could, Melissa, drop my email address into the webinar chat. Everybody, please put my email address onto your safe senders list. I just don't want the email with your replay going into spam. And before we do anything else, I believe in manifestation, people. I just think this is so important for you to do because it's May 15th. Grants are available. But you want to be in a space where you understand like this money is possible. All those people that you saw there in the Facebook group, they're real, right? So this is something I want you to do for you, not for me. I need for you to do it for you, right? Because a lot of you have been waiting a long time to just get help, to just know what to do. So right now, I want everybody, stop what you're doing, everybody, to put into the webinar chat, I am ready to get grant money. Like literally, speak this into the universe, right? I believe in manifestation, like write it down. Some of you have been at this for a long time. So I need for you to write this down and be ready. Some of you have been afraid. I'm telling you, success is always on the other side of fear. Always. There's nothing to be afraid of. I will serve as your coach. All right. Bridget, yes. Rosemary, yes. I'm ready to get grant money. Nicole, Wynetta, write this down. Get this out of you. Dorothy, I'm ready to get grant money. Kenneth, I'm ready to get grant money. Edward, I'm ready, right? Because what else are you waiting on? Like the time is now. Don't let what you're hearing on the news discourage you. That's the point, right? Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Kashana, Edward, Kenneth, Dorothy, I'm ready to get grant money. right? Lasagna, like now is the time. And as I mentioned, there's a special opportunity. I'm telling you, there's a special opportunity to write these grants now because people are thinking there are no grants. And these local communities, oh my gosh, I just met with a colleague a couple of days ago. She was like, it's amazing what is happening in these local communities, right? They're trying to fill in the gaps of what's happening in the White House because the need is greater than ever before. You know, right? You see it, right? You're on the front lines of it. So yes, I'm ready to get grant money, Alan, Balda. But before we do anything else, we have to stop and give Gail some love because Gail bought the course. Gail was like, I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of using my own money. I'm tired of not knowing where to go. I'm tired of being confused. We need to give Gail some love because she decided to invest in herself and what she wants to do in her passion and her dream. I need to see some clapping of hands. I need to see some hearts. I need to see it. I need to see it. And you do this one step at a time. Kashani, you're saying my vision is so big and can't afford it. This is why it is so important for you to be coached. Because if you're in the mindset that I have this huge vision, I don't have money for it, so I what do I do? You start small. You start small. That's when oftentimes people come into that one-on-one private coaching with me. They've got 10, 12 different ideas. All that's going to do is get you frustrated, right? You've got to focus. What do you need to be doing now? You do it and you do it well, and then you go to the next level. And that way you actually complete, right? What you're doing now, you have somewhere to start and you complete it, you make it great, and then you step to the next level. Because what did I say earlier? And I see this all the time. People are trying to do too much. You're trying to do too much. The more you pack on, the more you dilute your services. And that's when you get frustrated and you get burnt out. I've been in this industry 17 years. I've seen it all. I've seen it all. And this is why I keep this course, which should absolutely be $2,000 for $297. And I even give you a chance to pay $75 a month, people. All right. Questions. So let me know, Keith, what's going on. Let me know if you had the grant approved or if it was just the application approved. All right, so I've answered those questions. Michelle, no, that's why I want you to send me an email. The bonuses are not in the Facebook group. When you come into the Facebook group, you're going to see all of the grants that are put in there, but I need to send you the AI. I need to send that to you. So send me an email. All right. Okay, over to the webinar chat. I know I saw quite a bit of grants questions. So let me start from the top. I'm going to go down slowly. Yes, write everything off. It is tax deductible. The $297, if you're a nonprofit, you write it off. If you are a for-profit, listed as either a educational or business expense. Is Chat GPT acceptable? Absolutely. I just talked about it. Absolutely. But still, I would recommend using Grammarly also. You can use them both. I have started yet, but I have my LLC. Oh, but I don't have my LLC and my board. What do you mean you started, but you don't have your LLC? So it sounds to me like you're a sole proprietor, which is fine. You don't have to automatically be an LLC to get grant money. You can get grant money as a sole proprietor, absolutely. And as a sole proprietor, no, it is not required that you have a board. So there's nothing in front of you stopping you, right? I have a mission statement, but I don't know if it's too long or too short. That's what AI is for. It will give you some, it will absolutely give you a remarkable mission, right? So mission statements should be fairly short, maybe 2, 3, 4 sentences, not much longer. I typically see 2 or 3 sentences. Really shouldn't be any longer than that. What if you're just getting started? There are startup grants for those that are just getting started. Right. If you want to learn grants to as a grant writer, I can certainly help you. I've been one for 17 years. Let's see. All right, let's see. Other questions? I need a vehicle for my business. Then it sounds like you should be applying for the Progressive. Is called the Progressive Fast Forward Grant. Go through helloalice.com to apply for it. It's on there right now. I literally just saw it today. So it's still open. So for those of you who have small businesses that need a vehicle to use in your business, let's say you have a delivery service, right? Maybe you have a mobile tax service. Maybe you have maybe you're a mobile notary. Maybe you have a mobile dry cleaners. Anybody that needs a car for the use of their business, apply for that grant. The Facebook details. So when you buy the course, you're going to get 3 emails. One email will be your link to the Facebook group. Click the link, and then when we go into the Facebook group, we will admit you. Now, I'm going to do something special for everybody because I don't even want you waiting until the next group coaching call to get help. When you come into the Facebook group, I'm going to ask you to give a little synopsis of your organization. I'm going to respond and give you a link to a few grants that are specific to your organization. So I'll give you a link to grants that you need to pursue. I will do that for all of you. All right. Let's see. You need a 2-month payment plan. So I went through that. Just let me know if you need for me to show that to you again. Click the 2 times 275, input your coupon code MAY15 with a little T. It will take off the $100. You'll pay $175 a month for 2 months. All right. Let's see. Yes, you think of this as an investment in your organization. I mean, you have to give something. This is your organization, right? You have to be willing to give something to make it work, right? And this is how I need for you to think, because some of you, right, you're looking at the money part of it, but you're not looking at the time. You've spent so much more in time than $300 because some of you have been trying to do this for years and you're spending your time, right? And a lot of time has been wasted because you don't know how to do it. You don't know where to go, right? But you've got to consider your time is important, right? Time is money. Time is money, right? So please consider this because it's to help you. Because what I don't want you to do is not have a community, think you can do it on your own, and then you're back to square one because the first time you come up against something that you don't have an answer for, you don't know how to do it, then you're back to square one and you're frustrated. The last thing I want you to do is give up, right? Do not want you to give up. All right. So Rosemary, that should have been corrected as you went back through. You probably didn't put in your discount code. So put in your discount code. All right, let's see. I applied for a grant and they need more information. So that's actually a good thing that you didn't get a rejection letter, right? The fact that they're literally saying to you, can you provide more information? Just make sure you are meeting with these organizations, but that's actually good news because they could have just said, look, you have not given us what we need. Here's a rejection letter. This is your opportunity, Carolyn. Try to meet with them. In the course, we show you how to do all of it. Like literally come into the Facebook group. We'll show you how you meet, what you say, ask your questions so that we know you need help. So that we literally talk you through the whole interview process with the foundation so that you're not nervous, right? So that you can present yourself in the best possible light. Thank you, Gail. I'm excited to have you. All right. So let me tell you the difference between a grant and a sponsorship. When you get a grant, the organization cannot expect anything from you other than you providing a grantee report showing them how you use their grant funding, which you should be doing, and that's fine. They can't expect anything of value. A sponsorship is totally different, people. And by the way, you get templates. Let's say you want a sponsorship. So a sponsorship, expect the organization to want something from you. They may want to put their name on your marquee, to put an ad in your program booklet, to put their little tchotchkes in your swag bag, to speak to your audience. I had a client where she has a marketing firm. She niched down. She only markets to law firms to help them market their businesses. And I told her, I said, go to your luxury dealership in your area. Have them give you a $30,000 sponsorship for the privilege of sitting their car in front of your conference. She was giving a conference, right? I said, get a $30,000 grant or sponsorship from them. And it's a win-win. You got $30,000 and they have the ability to place their car in front of your conference center where these are typically higher income individuals, right? They're attorneys. They can market their vehicle to the attorneys, right? That's how sponsorships work. That's why many of you should be seeking sponsorships. I have a sponsorship kit in the course. In the Facebook group, there's a file system. Remember, I said you need to meet with foundations. I have the template. All you do is plug and play. You just literally copy and paste your information. You want to create a partnership with an organization, have a template. You need financial templates. I have financial templates. You need an MOU template. I have an MOU template. All right. So we try to make this easy. And the grant coaching is important because I don't want you to be discouraged and I don't want you to be stuck. All right. All right. Let me get to these last few questions. What is a grant for the car? That is the Progressive Fast Forward Grant. The link, when you get the replay, you'll see the link. But if you go on helloalice.com, you'll see it there. You have to sign up for helloalice.com. It's totally free. And then go under funding and you will see the grant. It is Progressive's grant. Let me see if I can't stick that link in here really quickly. This is a major grant. I mean, literally, it's a $50,000. This is through Hello Alice, which is fine. But because it's coming through Progressive, you can probably apply through other sites too. But I just placed the link into the chat for the Progressive grant. All right, let's see. How do I find the Facebook page? You will get access to the Facebook page when you buy the course. So you'll get a link to join when you buy the course. Those of you who are buying the course, you'll get the 3 emails. One will be the email for your username and password so that you can create one. The other email will be your link to the Facebook group. You want to be in the Facebook group, right? And then there's just a little welcome email. All right, let me just make sure because I did see some other questions and we do have a little bit more time. So let's see. Other questions. So I didn't get the answer to my question, Keith. I don't know if you're still here or not. There are competitions for grants. Grants are very competitive, absolutely. That's why you need to know what to do. They are competitive. If you need a vehicle for your business, I would definitely consider the Progressive grant. All right, let's see other questions. Tomorrow is my birthday. I consider this as my birthday gift. I will make my first payment tomorrow. Rosemary, happy birthday. Everybody give Rosemary some love. Tomorrow's her birthday. All right, let's see. That's right. Happy birthday. Let's see, let's see, let's see. All right, let's see. Other, no, I don't have grants or sponsorships that I give out for people to buy the course. No. Start small. Start small, Kashana, and be successful along the way. My mindset is bigger than my pockets. That's okay. That's a good thing because you're thinking long term, right? But just start one piece at a time or else it's going to be overwhelming. All right, let's see. Why have all of the food banks grant funding been cut off? That is your current administration has made those decisions. Let's see. Thank you, Kashana. Let's see. Let's see. No fear, faith only. Okay, let me know and I will so happen to you. You need a 26-foot box truck for your nonprofit. Sounds like you should be applying for that grant. Let's see. Let me just see if there are any other questions. Lowercase, this is why some of you I think are having problems with the code. The code is lowercase, MAY15, just how you saw me input it, all lowercase numbers. Everything's self-paced. This is why it's such a great course. There's no pressure. When you take the course, it's online, it's self-paced. You come into the Facebook group with your questions, right? That's why it takes the pressure off of you so that you go at your own pace, so that when you are finished with the course, you have this grant template. That's when it speeds up. You're going to start applying for grant after grant after grant because you will know how to do the research. You will have written your grant template. So you will have phenomenal answers to many of the grant questions that will be on these grant applications that you're going to be applying to. You've already answered them because I'm asking you the same kinds of questions. So you've already answered them. That's why it makes it easier. All right. And faster. All right. Let's see. Other questions, and then I think we can wrap it up. I am in healthcare and was offered to write a grant. What does that mean? I was offered to write a grant. So they're asking you to write a grant for funding. I have a meeting with the grant admin on Monday. Excellent, excellent. I am very nervous. You don't have to be. I also want to pay. So if you buy the course, you come into the Facebook group. You're going to be admitted immediately. I'm going to ask you for a synopsis of your organization as soon as you get into the Facebook group, right? Give me that synopsis and I'm going to help you immediately. So if you create a post, Carolyn, in the Facebook group to say, look, I'm meeting with a grant admin on Monday. I'm going to ask you some questions, right, that will get you through that meeting. I will show you the beginning, the middle, and the end of what you do, right? So that you are prepared. Please, you need to be prepared. Sounds like there's a pretty good opportunity for you here. And I don't want nerves to get in the way. I will help you go into that meeting prepared. All right. All right, let's see. Yes, there are plenty of food pantry grants, right? You have to research and find out what they are, right? So that's what the course is for. It will teach you how to research. But let me just say to all of you, 3 areas: food, shelter, and clothing. Those are 3 of the main areas where especially your local community foundations give money, right? Food, shelter, and clothing. And because you've seen the cuts to the federal government, the federal grants, when it comes to food being given to food pantries, what's happening? Your local community foundations are stepping in. Your corporations are stepping in. The grant money is still there. You just have to shift where you're looking for it. It's not coming from the federal government, right? All of you should be seeking your local community foundations and national foundations excuse me, and not going first to the federal government anyway, because those grants are very difficult to get. You really need a lot of experience. All right. Are there grants for general contractors to build Section 8 housing? So before we get into, is there a grant for me? Because we'll probably be here all night. All of you need to know something. There's a grant for you if you're doing something legal. If you're doing something legal, there's a grant for you. It's about how do you find it? And that's what the course is for. Now I'm going to take your question as an example. Excuse me. Because all of you should be looking in multiple categories for grants, not just one, multiple. You want to know whether or not there are grants for general contractors to build Section 8 housing. I can probably name at least 4 different categories where you should be seeking grants. One, you're Black, so there are grants still geared towards Black organizations. That's one, right? You are a small business. There are grants geared towards small businesses, right? You want to build Section 8 housing. Therefore, you have a company that is geared towards underrepresented communities, right? Low income communities, right? That's 3. Number 4, you're going to be seeking grants that are geared towards housing, affordable housing. And let me say to you, affordable housing is huge, right? I was hired to do some work for Habitat for Humanity. Affordable housing is significant. There is so much grant money in affordable housing. And you know what one of the largest funders of affordable housing is? Banks. Banks. So absolutely. So this is for all of you. There are grants for you. You need to know where to look and how to research, and that's what the course is for. All right, let's see. All right, I believe that is it. Let me make sure I've answered all of the questions, and I hope to see you over the course of the next 3 days in the Facebook group. You have until Sunday to get the additional $200 off. You have until Sunday. But before we go, I just want you to remember that you don't want to stop. Like, don't stop. Keep going, right? Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. All right. So you have the opportunity to get the course with the extra $200 off. You've got 3 days. So you have until Sunday. You have until Sunday. All right. All right. So please put the email into your email contact list or your safe senders list, because that's how you're going to get the replay. And for the next 3 days, you'll get the code and you'll get the link to the course. And hopefully I will see you so that I can help you move through this chaos so that you can give these testimonials like the people you saw on the slides. They're all in the Facebook group. You can come in and ask them questions. They're all real people. Most of them had never written a grant before either, right? But there's a way, there's a framework that I've created. There's a method that I've used that helped me win almost $18 million. And I'm sharing that with all of you so that you can be successful too. All right. So thank you so much. Thanks for hopping on. My name is Linda Peavy, creator of Grant Writing for Non-Writers, Keys to Winning Grant Proposals, and founder of LaPop Consulting. And I want you all to have a blessed and a safe evening and a blessed weekend. And whatever you do, keep moving forward. I hope to see you in the Facebook group so that I can help you. Gail, send me an email. I put my email, hello@grantwritingfornonwriters.com. Yes, that was sent to everyone. So send me an email. Thank you, everybody. Hopefully, you will allow me to be able to help you move through and realize the dream that many of you have. So thank you so much. God bless you and have a safe and a blessed evening and weekend. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.